How's it going? Is it easier to obtain Spanish citizenship if you are Ibero-American? Well, stay tuned because that's exactly what you're going to find out by the end of this video. You'll have it crystal clear. Let's go! First, you need to know which countries are Ibero-American. An easy classification, I don't know if it's scientific, but at least it's effective, is that all the countries in Latin America, that is from Mexico down to the end of the American continent, to the tip of Chile or Argentina. I don't know which one extends further south, but to the tip of one of those two, everything from there downwards that speaks Spanish, that has its official languages as Spanish or Portuguese, all of that is Ibero-America. With that, it becomes clear to you. Basically, any Latin American country that speaks Spanish or Portuguese, those are the Ibero-American countries. Basically, it's the entire territory, except for some of the Antilles, Belize, Guyana, those small and peculiar countries. Not those, but all the others. Now that you know which are the Ibero-American countries, I'll answer the question. It greatly benefits you to belong to one of these countries, to be a national of these countries when it comes to obtaining Spanish nationality. First, because Spain has dual nationality agreements with all these countries, this means that you can acquire Spanish citizenship without having to renounce your original citizenship. This is, in principle, what happens with all other countries with which there is no dual nationality agreement. In practice, if you do a little research, and especially if you are in this field, you find out that it's not quite like that, but at least from a legal standpoint, it appears that way. Only with a dual nationality agreement can you keep both, otherwise you cannot, in theory. And the second, which is the most prominent advantage, is the reduction of the required period for you to apply for Spanish nationality by residence. Remember that Spanish nationality by residence is the most common way in which foreign citizens acquire Spanish citizenship. Basically, it requires you to have resided in Spain legally for a certain amount of time, continuously, with good civic conduct. And that the time you have resided was immediately prior to the nationality application. As I mentioned, it is the way through which most foreign citizens acquire Spanish citizenship. And being Ibero-American, it reduces the residency period required in Spain to apply for this nationality to just 2 years. The general period is 10 years. Being Ibero-American reduces it to just 2 years. And not only for Ibero-Americans, but also for Portuguese, Andorrans, Filipinos, and Equatorial Guineans. For all of them, the period is reduced, and I almost left out people of Sephardic origin. For all of them, the residency period required to apply for Spanish nationality is reduced to just 2 years. This is because they share a common Spanish colonial past. It is understood that Spain implanted there, after centuries of colonization, its culture, in the vast majority, its language, also its religion, its worldview in general, etc. By virtue of this, all these people, being culturally closer, have a huge advantage when it comes to applying for Spanish nationality. A third advantage that stems a bit from those historical, cultural, and linguistic ties shared with Spain is that when you take the exams required for nationality, well, first, if you are from a Spanish-speaking country, which is the vast majority of Latin America, if you are from one of those countries, then you will not have to take the Delhi exam of Spanish as a foreign language, which is an exam required for everyone who is applying for Spanish nationality and does not come from a Spanish-speaking country. So there you have another huge advantage. If besides being Ibero-American, that country speaks Spanish, which is the majority of Ibero-Americans, then you will not have to take a language exam. In that exam, you have to prove that you have at least an A2 level, but well, you don't have to worry about it because you don't have to take that exam. If you are from a country where Spanish is the official language and you are Ibero-American, there is another exam. It's not just one, there are two. There is another exam, which is the culture exam. This one is general in principle, everyone has to take it. If you are Ibero-American, due to the cultural, historical, and linguistic ties that are shared, it is quite simple for you. In fact, in our 6 years of professional practice, only one client has failed that exam the first time, and I know that they passed it on the second attempt. So in reality, no one has failed it. We, in any case, and especially to mitigate anxiety, not because it's a difficult exam, but to alleviate our clients' anxiety, we send them study materials and try to address all their questions about it. Resolved so that they go well with confidence, but in the vast majority of cases, as I said, even without preparation. It is normal for a Latin American to pass this exam on the first try. If not, well, you have a second opportunity at no additional cost. In conclusion, being Latin American greatly facilitates the process of obtaining your Spanish nationality. It couldn't be any other way, right? For a reason, Spain's Day is on October 12th. For a reason, Hispanic heritage is celebrated. We all have ties with Spain. Spain, after all, it is the motherland. It is normal that in Euro-America there is a black legend about Spanish colonization. Regardless of whether that is true or not, the reality is that they are speaking ill of themselves, of their ancestors, because in Latin America, the indigenous culture that remains is absolutely residual. Spanish is spoken and the religion of Spain is practiced. There is a Western worldview, and the indigenous customs that remain are absolutely residual. Therefore, when speaking ill of Spanish colonization, they are speaking ill of their grandparents, of all those people they are criticizing, of their blood grandparents in the vast majority of cases, and practically in all cases of their cultural grandparents, of the people who implanted there the entire worldview that these people have of the world. So, well, you are free. If you want to talk about the black legend of colonization, there's also a quite interesting white legend that it portrays the Spanish as the as the most benign colonizers of all, because they were the most religious, the ones who granted the most rights to the colonized, the ones who saw them as people with equal rights. Obviously, there were abuses, etc., but there is a white legend, and the white legend has more scientific support than the black one. So, be careful with your sources, be careful what you speak ill of, because you might be speaking ill of yourself if you look closely, and celebrate Hispanic heritage. We are united. It's a fact. The legislations recognize it. Spain only requires 2 years of legal residence from Latin Americans, and the vast majority of Latin American countries are reciprocal, also requiring 2 years from Spaniards. And among all, there is a dual nationality agreement. There it is. Long live Hispanic heritage. If you have any specific questions about this topic or others related to immigration or Spanish nationality, leave them in the comments. We will be happy to resolve them, or you can directly schedule a consultation. Also, in the description box, you have the link to schedule a consultation or to contact us. We will schedule it for you, and so that I or a member of my team can plan it. The best path to your legal residency or to your Spanish nationality. By the way, we have a satisfaction guarantee according to which if you do not obtain your nationality, if you do not obtain your legal residency, you do not pay us, not a cent. Terms and conditions apply, but I'm telling you that's how it is. In the vast majority of cases, thank you for your like, thank you for your comment, thank you for sharing this with those who need it, and above all, thank you for subscribing. See you next time. Goodbye.